The animal kingdom. A vast world of creatures big and small, all in the fierce contest of survival of the fittest. From the tallest of mountains to the deepest depths of the ocean, the sub-zero lands of the polar regions to the scorching heat of the savanna. Today we take an adventure discovering 99 cool creatures Mother Nature doesn't want you to see. From a hairy-looking crab that lives in the deep ocean, to a pig with a beard bigger than Aunt Brenda's, but first let's take a look at the fried egg jellyfish. Let's get it done! Imagine you are stranded out at sea after a huge wave capsized your small boat. After what seemed like several days of endless floating with nothing more than sea on the horizon, you suddenly spot something heading towards you. With fear in your eyes, you ask yourself, is that a fried egg? Although not impossible, it is more likely to be the fried egg jellyfish, or Phacelophora kamtschatka. This jellyfish can be identified by its yellow coloration in the middle of its body, looking very similar to the yolk of an egg. The bell of the jellyfish can be close to 60 centimeters, and its tentacles can grow up to 6 meters in length. This cool water species is found in most of the world's oceans, but is mainly found in the North Pacific. There is also a smaller jellyfish, Cotylorhiza tuberculata, also popularly called a fried egg jellyfish, but these typically tend to prefer warmer waters, particularly the Mediterranean Sea. Number 2. The maned wolf. This creature is a straight-up skinwalker. You may think it's a wolf from its name or a fox by its red fur, but it's neither. It is the only type in the genus Chrysochon. Its thin and long legs give it a rather strange and creepy look, and definitely something you would want to avoid seeing in the wild. It stands 1 meter tall with a body weight of 20 to 25 kilograms. These beasts can be found lurking in Brazil, Paraguay, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, and very rarely in Uruguay. The near-threatened species has a population of around 23,600. Number 3. The shoebill stork. This bird looks prehistoric as it glares down its massive beak. Adult shoebills are usually gray and the juveniles are more brown. A great find for birdwatchers, but to find this majestic bird you will have to travel to the freshwater swamps of central tropical Africa. This is not the animal to best describe yourself in an interview, as the bird is often described as being statue-like due to its tendency to stay still for long periods of time and its slow movements. Unless, of course, you're applying to become one of those street statues. The height of these terrifying birds is usually between 110 centimeters to 152 centimeters. That's not the only thing that will impress you. The shoebill also has a massive wingspan of 230 to 260 centimeters. Their diets consist of mainly fish, and they have been said to prefer the marbled lungfish, African lungfish, and Senegal beach ear. Number 4. The Yeti Crab. Although hairy in appearance, the Yeti crab isn't hairy at all. What looks like hairs are actually bristles, which the crab uses to farm its own food. Living in the deep sea around hydrothermal vents, this intelligent creature uses its arms to catch bacteria, which then grow on the crab's bristles. Once ready, the crab harvests its reward. These crabs have also been seen waving their arms back and forth in the vents to encourage the growth of the bacteria. This bacteria is the crab's primary food source. Wow, this gives a whole new meaning to Krusty Krab. Number 5. The ghost shark. Before we head to New Zealand, we need to check out another deep sea critter, the ghost shark. This deep sea creature is not a shark like its name suggests. It is in fact a fish, and its most recent ancestor is believed to exist in the ancient Devonian period, around 200 million years before the evolution of flowering plants. These have the slowest evolving gnome of all known invertebrates. This is why many of their characteristics seem out of place against other oceanic species. One example is their teeth. They don't have pointed, sharp teeth like most sharks. They have tooth plates on the roof and bottom of their mouths, which is made from a hypermineralized tissue called pleramin, that, uniquely among vertebrates, contains the mineral whitlock. It is thought that this unique mineralization contributes to the extraordinary hardness of their grinding tooth plates. Number 6. The kiwi. now off to investigate a bird native only to New Zealand. It is also New Zealand's national bird, the kiwi. There are 5 species of kiwi with millions spread throughout New Zealand just 200 years ago. But now, after a fast decline in numbers, there are less than 68,000 left. There are many reasons for this decline. One of these is the difficulty it is for the kiwi to produce offspring. Just 50% of the eggs laid fail to hatch, and sadly 90% of the chicks that make it fail to make it through the first 6 months of their lives, and only 5% of the chicks actually make it to adulthood. But this, combined with human expansion and predators that have been introduced to the ecosystem, make the kiwi a species that is heading towards being endangered. Number 7, the snipe eel. Next on our list is the snipe eel. This eel reminds me of those worms on string toys from our childhood. Anyone else remember these? Anyway, the snipe eel has a long body with a slender jaw and is found in every ocean at around 300 to 600 meters, but have been found nearer the surface at night. Only shrimp-like crustaceans have been found in the stomachs of the snipe eel, but it is believed they should be capable of eating small fish and cephalopods. Number 8, axolotl. Some of you might recognize this beautiful creature from Minecraft. It has a tadpole-like body with short limbs and a bulbous head, which seems to sprout a sort of feathery crown, and it is often described as cute and weird. Its looks are not all that is alien about this water-loving amphibian. It has a huge scientific interest due to its ability of regeneration. Not only can it regenerate limbs, but it also has the ability to regenerate eye, heart tissue, and parts of its brain, and can also accept transplanted limbs from other individuals. Incredibly, the axolotl is neotenous, which is the retention of juvenile traits in the adulthood of the animal's life. In the case of the axolotl, they do not metamorphose into land-living, lung-breathing adults. Instead, they keep their gills and tails and seem to continue living their lives underwater. Sadly, this is another endangered animal on our list, and won't be the last. In 1998, a researcher counted 6,000 axolotls per square kilometer. Just a decade later, the researcher counted 100 per square kilometer. That's a massive decline, and what's more, recent data suggests there are fewer than 36 per square kilometer. This is definitely one animal we don't want to see on the extinct list. Number 9, Okapi. The Okapi has a unique appearance and looks like it's been stitched together or is some sort of Frankenstein science experiment.
It's alive!
Looking part zebra, part horse, and donkey, it innocently finds itself on the edge of extinction. Gang activity has been a major contributor to the species' decline in numbers. In 2012, a violent attack on the headquarters of the Okapi Wildlife Reserve resulted in the killing of 7 people and 13 captive Okapi. It was carried out by a gang seeking revenge on the Institute in the Congo for Conservation of Nature for their efforts to stop the gang's illegal activities, such as poaching elephants and mining. Okapi stand around 1.5 meters tall at the shoulder and tend to weight in the region of 200 to 350 kilograms. They have a lifespan of 20 to 30 years. Interestingly, the gestational period is around 440 to 450 days long, after which usually only one calf is born. Another harsh obstacle in the way for this species. Number 10, the bearded pig. Unlike Aunt Brenda, this pig can be found around Southeast Asia, taking refuge in rainforest and mangrove forest, living with its family. It is easily recognized by its beard, and some may be seen with tassels on its tail. These creatures are omnivores, but their primary food source is fruit and vegetation. It's a good thing they are good swimmers, jumpers, and climbers, as there are many predators ready to feast upon the bearded pig, including tigers, leopards, and pythons. There are also 2 similar species, the Eurasian wild pig, Sus scrofa, which is smaller and lacks facial hair. The second is the Palawan bearded pig, Sus ahuanabarbus, which is smaller in size and has a much more restricted range. Today we have crossed the world, taking a look at some of Mother Nature's greatest creatures, big and small. We have seen the axolotl. We've seen the hairy Yeti crab. Or rather, not so hairy, but there is more to come. In the next episode, we will be investigating one of the most deadly creatures on the planet. Join us for part 2 to find out just how deadly it is.